Okay, so we are back with Soldier Stash. I feel like it's been absolutely ages since I made a Soldier Stash video. I've been so focused on all of the other videos and getting Scouts parts ready to be over that I just completely forgot that I had all of the footage for this video recorded already thanks to those celebration streams I did for 75,000, which, yeah, I've just been sitting on this footage and not doing anything with it. Anyway, today we are going to be covering the Cow Mangler, but before we get into that, we are currently super close to 80,000 subscribers, and I joked a week ago saying I don't think we're going to hit it this month because that would mean I gained 3,000 subscribers in like 7 days, and the fact that we've almost done that is ridiculous. So if you want to subscribe and help us get there, please do. If you don't want to subscribe, then I guess I can't make you. But I think we might actually be able to do this, which will be ridiculous. Anyway, the Cow Mangler is a primary weapon for the soldier and is described on the wiki as a large shoulder-fired retro-futuristic ray gun with several team-coloured portions and arcs of electricity that appear periodically on the frontal nodes. I'm getting better at reading those, gotta be honest, I'm getting better. You can get the Cow Mangler in unique quality, strange quality, and collector's quality, which isn't actually as many variations as I thought. I didn't want to say qualities again, I said it too much. But obviously, for me, strange is the most important one, so you have that there, and that's fine. So, the Cow Mangler, for the most part, is pretty much exactly the same as the rocket launcher. It deals the same damage, which we will get into later, and the rockets that it fires travel at exactly the same speed. Now, these rockets aren't actually rockets, they're more like lasers, or like ray beams, or something like that. I don't even know what to describe them as, but they're basically rockets that look quite cool, but aren't actually proper rockets. The Cow Mangler also has unlimited of these rockets. So instead of the normal ammo counter you would have with the rocket launcher, you actually have a little bar at the bottom of your screen that shows you just how many shots you have left pretty much. So it doesn't tell you the number, it's just a bar. And the more the bar goes down, the less shots you have. And then when the soldier reloads, he's just filling the bar back up. So it pretty much works the exact same as the rocket launcher again, but you don't need to keep on picking up ammo with this weapon. So talking about it right now, it actually sounds really cool, and this next bit is also quite cool as well. This weapon also has an alternative fire. If the Mangler bar at the bottom of your screen is full, you can right click and start charging up your weapon. This will then charge the Cow Mangler and it will shoot a bigger single shot which uses all of your ammo for the gun, which deals mini crits to enemies and sets them on fire for 6 seconds. Now, while you're charging the gun up though, you do slow down a lot, so you're moving very slowly and it's very hard to get away from anything. So you need to make sure that you're being careful for lurking spies or the fact that you're going to be vulnerable for a few seconds without any mobility, and if you step into the open, you could get sniped very easily. But being able to mini crit enemies in the same radius as a regular rocket is quite good, and setting them on fire is also pretty awesome. Not only that, this charge beam also disables buildings for 4 seconds, which is ridiculously useful, especially if you and your whole team are trying to push into a sentry gun nest, which is something I wish I knew sooner. And the Cow Mangler, in general, deals 80% less damage to buildings, which is where the downsides of this gun start to come in. You're doing 20% of the regular damage to buildings that you would with the rocket launcher. Oh, and your massive charge shot, yeah, that can hit you and set you on fire too, so don't do that. The Cow Mangler also can't deal random crits, so if you get charged with a crits Krieg as well, it also gets reduced to mini crits, which is another stat this weapon has, which is something to be mindful of. It's not the biggest deal in the world, like you're not going to be doing massive critical hits, but mini crits are still quite good. Okay, so just like the rocket launcher, the point blank range damage is 105 to 112, medium range is 50 to 90, and the long range is 24 to 48. So decent damage all around, I have to say. And the mini crit damage for the Cow Mangler is 122 to 151. So not the best if you are using a crits Krieg to get that, but at the same time, it's not the worst damage you could be doing ever. So it's not too bad. I personally found that while I was using the Cow Mangler, I basically played exactly the same as I would with the rocket launcher, but I avoided sentries at all costs. I always seem to forget about my charged shot as well, since I would jump to somewhere and then not have a full clip of rockets loaded, so I could use the charged shot anyway. And I think if this weapon was a little bit further from the actual rocket launcher, then I would have used the charged shot a bit more, since the gun would feel different to use and I'd remember it existed. I feel like because it was so similar to the rocket launcher, that's the only way I was trying to play with it. And the rocket launcher doesn't have an alternative fire, so I didn't try and do an alternative fire. But that doesn't mean the charge shot isn't useful. It can be very, very useful, especially disabling sentries that are blocking you from getting somewhere. And on King of the Hill maps, disabling them so your team can destroy them is really useful. And I wish I was using the charge shot more when I was playing with this weapon. I do personally really like this weapon though. While the lower damage on the buildings does kind of suck, when the charge shot works and you manage to use it, it's quite satisfying to hit. And the Cow Mangler, since it's so similar to the rocket launcher, is a reliable and powerful gun to use. So it makes sense that some people would choose this one over the default rocket launcher for that charge shot. I still think I'll be using the default for now, but I can see now why some people would use the Cow Mangler instead. So yeah, it makes sense. I might now be a bit more understanding about Cow Mangler players, unless you start shooting sentries. That's when it gets a little bit weird, like, why are you doing that? You know that doesn't work. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching the video. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure you leave the video a like and also subscribe to the channel if you are new. It would mean a lot to me, especially if we hit 80,000 subscribers tonight. That would be absolutely ridiculous. I really want to hit 100k this year, so I need your guys' help. So if you are subscribing or you're already subscribed, a massive thank you to you. Also, make sure you check out my Patreon down below and join the legends who are currently on the screen right now. These guys are supporting me massively with this whole goal of trying to do YouTube and Twitch full time so I can constantly be making content for you guys. So if you want to help me out, you can do. It's no pressure if you don't want to at all. I don't want to make people feel like they have to pledge anything to this. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching the video. I hope you all enjoyed it once again, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye.